In this breaking story, Donald Trump, the man who was elected to fix the economy, has somehow managed to crash the US dollar. That's right, the US dollar is crashing as Trump just made an alarming announcement. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to hear MAGA try and spin this one.
I know it might surprise some people, but feeding kids lunch, providing childcare, having accessible and functional public transportation, among many other things, are popular policies everywhere. They're popular everywhere.
You just lost about 100,000 brain cells by watching that soundbite. Sweetie, if they were popular everywhere, Trump would not be president.
Actually, Laura, Trump was popular because he promised to fix the economy. Feeding kids lunch, providing childcare, accessible and functional public transportation, all of these things cost money. And these are the issues Trump promised to fix. That's how he won a second term. What's even funnier, Laura, is that your own network actually contradicted your dumb statement.
A lot of Americans don't like this, even some people who voted for President Trump, for this reason, Madam Secretary, because they don't understand why the cuts have to come from programs like SNAP, like food stamps for the poor, and like Medicare for the poor.
Still, however, it seems as though Dementia Don has completely forgotten his original campaign promises, now viewing himself as nothing more than a king and a ruler.
We're ruling with common sense, you know, but no matter what you are, it's all about common sense, and I think that's the way I've ruled. I do what's right.
Seriously, Trump, you're not a ruler. You're not ruling anything. Okay, the closest you'll get to ruling is the next court ruling determining that you're guilty. I actually am wondering if Donald Trump is kind of, losing it. He appears to believe that Hannibal Lecter was a real person.
During the campaign, I talk about the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Do you know who that is, Hannibal Lecter? Silence of the Lambs. I'd talk about it and the fake news would go crazy.
Yeah, Rule 101, if you have to insert movie characters into your political tale, odds are you're lying. But still, all of this nonsense has culminated to the moment you've been waiting for. That's right, the US dollar is crashing as Trump just made a bizarre announcement. Take a look. Donald Trump was elected on a promise to fix the economy, but now, in his pursuit of total political power, he may be breaking the one thing that gives the US global leverage: the strength of the American dollar. On Thursday, the US dollar plunged to a 3-year low after word leaked that Trump is preparing to name a new Federal Reserve chair, one who's fiercely loyal to his base. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump is actively working to sideline current Fed chair Jerome Powell, despite Powell's term not ending until 2026, because Powell won't play ball. He's refused to cave to Trump's repeated demands to slash interest rates. Investors are dumping the dollar out of fear that Trump will appoint a yes man to the Fed, someone who might ignore inflation risks and turn monetary policy into a campaign tool. That fear has driven the dollar down more than 10% this year. It's not just economic theory, there's history here. Back in 1972, Richard Nixon pressured the Fed to cut rates before the election. The result, soaring inflation that crippled the economy for a decade. If Trump follows through, he'll install someone who could hold power through 2030 and help shape an economy that serves his political goals, not economic reality. The Fed was designed to be independent for a reason, but under Trump, even the dollar is becoming political. So at the end of the day, we have a man who promised to fix the economy. We have a man who promised to fix inflation. We have a man who promised to put America first. Now he's not fixing inflation. He's going back on virtually all of his campaign promises. He's not putting America first. And now he's putting the American dollar down.